would have thought I never done this before, but I really have, folks. Welcome to Flex Friday.
There's a little teaser there. That's what it was. You had people thinking we were going live, and then you hurried up and switched to the countdown.
Well, I was thinking about doing this, Mike.
Oh, there. That's a face that you like to see, huh?
That's right.
There you go.
Would you buy a car from that guy?
I don't know if I'd buy a car from him. Don't know if I'd buy a car from him. Exactly. Used car. Now, that guy right there, man, I'm telling you, that guy could sell me anything.
Ice to an Eskimo.
Exactly.
I'll tell you why you need it.
I like his haircut. That's all I can say. All right.
Fresh, for sure.
Billy's betting with the sports nuts. And I'm going to start off this show a little differently today. Just because I'm going to. I want to. I want to show you all not only the new look of the website from OddsJam, but also the look of the new shop. By the way, use code FREESHIP for free shipping on any order. There it is, shop.oddsjam.com. And folks, take a look.
We've got the new hats
on here. The T-shirt,
yeah,
the trucker, the mug. I am, you know what? If they don't give me an OddsJam morning coffee cup, I'm really going to be upset. I keep on pushing for this. I don't think anybody's listening. The tumbler. Hey, there you go, Mike. The bikini.
Now, Bob, we're trying to gain viewers here. We're not trying to scare them away with your nonsense. Come on now. Nobody wants to even. No, Bob. Let me interrupt you. Nobody even wants to think about me in a bikini in the same sentence. Okay, I mean, come on.
Who?
Well, why are you bringing it up? Why are you talking about me?
Bikinis are a nice thought.
A bikini.
Yes. It's a new item.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With the business zip. Check it out. And Mike, the notebook. You can have your own OddsJam notebook now.
Dude, there's so much I need on that, right? Like, wow.
And
I need a notebook. I love taking notes down because I know we're in the world now where people are probably thinking, who uses a pen and paper still, right? But I do from time to time. I still write stuff down.
The unisex
back in the day when you were making your bets back in the 80s and 90s, you needed a notebook so you and the bookie matched up,
Absolutely.
There you go. And the embroidered beanie, though, unisex hoodie embroidered beanie are sold out. And let's not forget, we got Slop Shop. Okay, look at that face.
Now that's a face.
That's a face. No two ways about it. It's a face.
It's a great smile too. The
no big deal shirt, the broke even shirt, the feels right shirt, and the buddy hat, all at shop.oddsjam.com. And
Bob, you could argue that is the best smile the internet has ever seen. There's just no doubt about it.
You might be right. I want to show you a couple other things here real quick, folks. Check it out. Take a look at what the website now looks like. Here we are. We're looking at the lines on the Blue Jays and Tigers game. Look at that. That's pretty slick.
That is.
It's very chic looking, by the way. And I love the fact that we can just go right here and click on NHL odds, soccer odds, golf odds, what have you.
Yeah, I got us a little navigation menu there at the bottom. The highlighted plays are popping out a lot more now. It's a smoother experience. I love it. When I first saw, and I literally did not notice until yesterday, 20 minutes before we went live or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is fire, man. Like, whoa.
Especially for me when I'm placing wagers at night, that the dark screen will be a little easier on the old eyeballs. So
exactly. I agree. Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. Tony, Billy C, he's welcoming you. And Tony says the Lady F&D bikini.
And that rhymes.
Yes.
That rhymes. The Lady F&D bikini.
What's up, Tristan? Look who's here. Jabari's here.
Jabari's in the building.
And that's a face, boys. And you're right, Tony. Cam Young, Higo, and Schenk, 1, 2, and 3 right now. And Schenk is an outright, and he's who I'm rooting for to win. And the other guys can do whatever they want, just stay in prime position for us to get that plus money, because that's what it's all about. Now, Billy, I gotta ask you something here. First off, how often do you use the screen?
The fantasy optimizer or the sportsbook screen?
No, the sportsbook screen.
Not as often as I used to. It's been a while, because there's some markets out there that you can definitely find value on, but you just have to hunt for it.
So here's something that I want to show you guys. Mike probably thinks I'm crazy here, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I've already thought that, but that's very
so here we are. We're in baseball.
Uh-huh.
You know, we can go right here and we can go to this drop down. We can navigate to any game, right? But also over here, we can also navigate to any market. Now, I just want to point out a couple of things that I think are really cool. Number one, player RBIs. Now, during the playoffs last year, I was doing a video for every playoff game. And I decided to start trying to ride the player RBI. So I rode Bryce Harper and Alvarez all through the playoffs. Now, it's just to get an RBI, okay? But look at the plus money. That's all you're going to find is plus money, okay? You won't find this on positive EV, okay? It's not there because Pinnacle doesn't have a line on this.
Correct.
Just as the same with the hits plus runs plus RBIs, which we know a lot of the DFS platforms have, but the regular books don't have, except for DraftKings and BetMGM sometimes. DraftKings really is the only book that has this consistently. The rest is all on DFS formats, okay? So I wanted to let you all know that. Really important stuff. I do this in my presentation when I'm talking to customers every day. There are markets here that you can go to that could be very advantageous to you, okay?
Oh, for sure.
And now we're in that part of the season. I was going to say, we're in that part of the season where you guys think, at least in baseball, you know, where we have enough data now because we're past the halfway point. So it's advantageous to hop on. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And Tony likes it. Player RBIs is a different animal. And I'm telling you, man, Billy, you can make some money off of this stuff. Like, really,
I got to check it out.
Yeah. You got to check it out. And Mike is the nerfy god. Enough said. He's absolutely right.
Well, let's say, first of all, the video was 1 and 2. I hit the Cubs Brewers nerfy, which I didn't get to announce to everybody, and that was an early game yesterday. And then we lost the Rangers Red Sox one in a terrible, terrible way. Felt like we had it, and Eovaldi I thought was good to go. I mean, we got through that top half with Texas, and it was like, oh well, Eovaldi's gonna put them down 1-2-3, we think, and they get a run on a sacrifice fly. But what I did do, and I didn't have time to put this out, I went on ahead and I took the nerfy in that Blue Jays White Sox game because that first game had just ended, you know, and I was looking at the slate, didn't have time to run the algorithm. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just look at this White Sox Blue Jays game. Let's take a nerfy on it. And it was pretty good value at the time as well. So I rode with that and made up for it. And then obviously I told Tristan and you, Bob, that we were going to hit, was it Mariners Astros?
Yeah.
We hit that one too. So those two that not everybody got to hear about came through. So that's good news.
So check out Tony, what he says here. He's using the sportsbook screen. He does all of his first 5 plus a half hunting on the sportsbook screen. Interesting.
Good choice.
Looking for the pitching advantage, hunting for the best odds.
That's good.
Also, as Tony has said all along, Billy, that's where you take the dog. That's where the dog is going to have the most value. And you are going to find first 5 plus a half a run on the positive EV page because there is market for that in Pinnacle. So you will see that, and they'll pop up more and more and more. Tristan loves it. Great stuff. So,
yeah, that's what I like the screen for. I mean, here's what I really like. I don't necessarily, I mean, I want to get the best value I can get, but I can also throw into the equation, what do these books have the line itself set at? You know, so let's say we're talking about a player strikeouts line or something, and, you know, I got 6, 6.5, depending on what the books have. You know, a half a point is what I'm more interested in. And I'll pay a little more juice sometimes to get that half a point because, you guys know how that stuff goes. That half a point can be a huge, huge difference. So, yeah, always use the screen for things like that as well. Finding an edge in any way you can. I mean, you got to remember there's many different ways we can get an edge, and that's what we're looking for.
Right.
Find an edge on our plays, not just – all right, Braves are playing Tampa Bay today. I like Tampa Bay. Let's bet them. All right, let's bet. You want to get some kind of edge,
Right. So, yeah, and the thing that I'm wanting to point out here also is that there's more than just positive EV. The line shopping, Billy, that you can do with OddsJam, especially with the new look, it can be extremely, extremely important. And back to the sports book screen, guys, too. You can watch the game live. You can see things happening live that you may jump in on. I'm telling you, college basketball is a great sport to bet live. You can catch a lot of great plays, Billy, right?
I agree with that. Man, I am so looking forward to when October hits and we just get all that volume and action back. Oh, we're closing in on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing I noticed with NFL, because it is coming up early in the season. So what I did early in the season, recommended filters, I turned them on. They were relatively newer at the time, the recommended filters were. So I noticed, though, on most of the NFL, I mean, I was taking all kinds of random player and just everything that was on the recommended filters on the EV page. And it, from weeks 1 through 3 or 4, I mean, the win percentage I was having on these plays was insane. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just stealing money right now. I mean, they were hitting like crazy. And then we had a couple of weeks where things started to balance out a little bit, but I cashed in a lot of money early in the NFL season last year because, when you're early in a season, you can't look at, all right, we've got the Cowboys playing the Eagles, game 1, let's just say, right? I mean, what are we going to go off of for anything? Like, it's the first, we haven't even seen these teams play a game yet. Let's just go with the value and just roll with it. And, man, I had a lot of success.
Yeah.
Great. I've been jumping more into the low holds and arbitrage page, especially late at night, finding those money line plays and, whether it's going off a Pinnacle or maybe another offshore book like Bet Online and seeing what their lines are. Because you can find a lot of value there. You just have to figure out the no vig fair odds for yourself, but it's not that difficult,
No, that's not very difficult at all. You just use the calculator.
Yeah,
that's the way we used to do it, right? Yeah, before we had the no vig fair odds, but we made it a heck of a lot easier for you.
Man.
Folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to point out too, people talk about getting limited. One thing that with our recommended bet size that gets away from that, if you notice, you only see recommended bet sizes like up to $5 where you have dollar increments. After that, it's all the $5 increments. Okay, and that's extremely important to keep you from getting limited because these books. Another thing I will say this: if you're going to bet player props, don't just go after a bunch of them at one time in a book that you've never bet any player props in ever, and all of a sudden you bet 10 in one night. You're just asking to be limited. Okay.
Yeah, because the books are going to look at your history and see, what you've bet, and they're going to see what you like to go after. So you got to mix it up.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah, you do. You do. You have to mix it up a little bit. And, a good thing to do is You know, I had a call with a guy today, and he was like, man, I got a lot of options and a lot of books I can get in, but I don't have the money to spread out through all these books. You know, you guys kind of act like I need to be in as many books as I can. It's like, well, you at some point you do, but don't think you have to get them all of them at once. I mean, if you can't get in, you know, let's say you're in Colorado, they got a lot of books in Colorado. I don't expect you to get in 30 something books in one, you know what I mean? Start out, look around on the positive, and during your free trial on the Positive EV page, kind of see if you can see what books you're seeing a lot of action on and plays on, and build from there. You know, if it's a new book, take advantage of the sign-up bonuses, deposit matches, all that stuff they offer, and to build your bankroll up a little more and to slowly get there. You don't have to get in 30 books in one night. You could slowly make your way up there. You know,
my favorite thing is always that's a great point that you make, Mike, is because I always like to tell people, if you have a bevy of options for your books, look at every single one of them and see if there's any low-hanging fruit for the sign-up bonuses, maybe like the ones that give you a $200 or $250, because you want to try to save your, you know, build that bankroll up so you can go after those bigger sign-up bonuses. Because, you know, I understand if you can only afford maybe $100, but if you only use Caesars and they're offering you $1,200, and maybe down the road you could afford a $400 or $500 or $600 sign-up bonus, but you only do $50 because that's all you can afford. You kind of miss that one-shot opportunity. So
that's true too. Absolutely,
good point.
Tony's got some good advice here, guys. This is on the MLB draft. Paul Steens, you know, he's probably, it's either him or Cruz going number one. And I think
I mean, Tony, that's my team. It's my Buccos with the first pick. I know they're going to screw it up. Skeens is probably going to need Tommy John in the first week. It's going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Because we got Henry Davis, who 2 years ago was the number 1 overall pick. We called him up. He's up on the roster now. He's that outfielder catcher from Louisville, good bat. But any pitcher we draft, I know it's going to be like we drafted Talion, we drafted Cole. They're going to need some type of Tommy John.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Cole was a hell of a pitcher. No two ways about it. Boy, you sound like me and my Cardinals here.
Well, I mean, you know, Pirates baseball, Bob. It's we have 3 years.
I know, but
Bob enjoyed beating up on him all those years.
Yeah.
Now he's not really liking kind of being below them. Although they're
1979 was a long time ago.
They've cooled off. I mean, they're 7 games under 500 now. I mean,
I still remember Sister Sledge playing, buddy, and Willie Stargell, Papa Stargell. Tony says, knowing your Buckles, they'll take Max Clark, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, they probably back in the day they would just take the guy that they knew they could sign instead of the best player. But now that's changed a little bit. Yeah.
Right. All right. So we're going to put a parlay together, the three of us. You got to follow all three of us on Twitter. You got to retweet and like the tweet. You got to subscribe to this YouTube channel, follow OddsJam, all that stuff. Jason Kendall, yes. Very good, Tristan. Yes.
Yep.
That was a good one. Sorry, Billy. I mean, Jason Kendall was a good player.
Had one of the more gruesome injuries you ever see, running down the first base line and snapped his ankle. But he was a hell of a catch. He was Pittsburgh type of player through and through. But
do you remember the injury from Moises Alou rounding first base, and he played for the Expos. And
I know Moises Alou is. Yeah.
And his leg snapped right as he rounded first base. I know. Terrible. All right. I'm going to go first tonight. That's
okay.
And Mike, you can go second. We'll let Billy go third.
Yeah, I just want to shout this out on FanDuel real quick, Bob, because it's a first half run line play on the Positive EV page. It's the Orioles plus a half against the Twins. I kind of like that play. I mean, I know Irvin's on the mound. He's not been great, but the Orioles, after losing a couple in a row, bounced back, winning their last 2. I mean, I'm getting Baltimore at plus a half, plus 110 on FanDuel right now. Let's take it. I love that play.
All right. Very good. I'm going to start off here. I'm going to stay the heck away from this Braves and Rays game. It scares the heck out of me. I got to be honest with you. It just scares the
Well,
heck
lines are ripping towards Atlanta right now. I mean, we've
Right.
got Atlanta -1.5 even on the run line with some value and with some,
I don't mean to
discrepancy.
brag, but I got him last night at +116 money line. So
Oh,
Cool.
yeah, I like that.
I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast. All right.
But
I
one
am
time.
going to take the Boston Red Sox on the run line -1.5 against the Athletics.
Okay.
That is the first one. And as you can see here, folks, you see that little dollar sign, I hover over it. It says add to parlay. I click it. A lot of people don't know about this. It's added to the bet slip. That little dollar sign in the corner turns purple, and we got one leg to a parlay right now. And Mike, you're up.
Yeah, no, I can't say I dislike that. I mean, Boston's actually been playing pretty good. 5 of their last 6 they've won, so that AL East looking good. I'm going to jump over here, and we're at 5. So we're gonna have to get this out quick because mine's gonna be at 5:40 in the Central Time in 20 minutes.
Great. Well, then hurry up.
Yeah. This is what I got to go with. I got to go with Phillies Marlins. I got to go with the Nerfy in that. Phillies Marlins Nerfy.
Okay.
Algorithm went with it, so we're going with it.
You always you got to put me in these spots, don't you?
What spots?
Mine is the opposite of Mike's in terms of plenty of time out in the Bay. A couple books that I have it. Verlander over 5.5 strikeouts. And so when I look at books like FanDuel and Bet Online that see this at -112, -111, few of the books I have out here, I can get it at even money +100. But so Verlander over 5.5 strikeouts against the Padres tonight.
Okay. Let me get there. That I can handle quickly. They've moved a few things around. Over 5.5, right?
Yeah, over 5.5, correct. Yeah.
Let's see where we're at. Okay. The OddsJam algo is at +553, +448, 488 on DraftKings is where we'll add it. But I happen to have a 15% parlay boost on BetMGM because on BetMGM you could swing for the fences every day. So very quickly, let me tell you what we got. The Red Sox -1.5. And Nerfy in the Phillies Marlins game and Justin Verlander over 5.5 player strikeouts. That is our parlay for today. And then we're going to come back with some price picks. I better put this together very quickly while you take over.
Appreciate Mike kind of taking the reins on this parlay because, he's going to be the first one to determine if we win or lose. So appreciate you being brave.
Yeah, I went on ahead and let's get it out of the way and see what happens. If we know if we're going to know early on if we're looking good or not. And,
maybe before this show's over.
No. Well, I mean, the show will be over before this game starts. But
I don't know.
It'll be shortly after.
Depends on how long-winded you are.
Oh, is that what it depends on? Is that what it depends on?
You heard it.
Talk about last-minute betting on display. Exactly, last-minute betting. Yes. Yeah. I got to be honest. I know it's probably risky, but that I would almost sprinkle that Braves -1.5. It's like +163 on Bet Rivers or Barstool. I mean, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on it. I don't care. I'm going to go with it. I mean, why not? Why not? It's the Braves, right? I mean, they can win by 2+ runs. I know it's Tampa Bay. They're a good team. Glass now on the mound for them tonight.
For Tampa. Are we thinking this is a potential World Series matchup?
Right now it definitely looks to be potential, but a team that I'm looking at in the National League that's starting to make me wonder, could they make some noise still? As good as Atlanta looks, you got the Dodgers, them and the Braves have some recent history in the playoffs, both experienced, been there, done that. I don't think we can sleep on the Dodgers just just yet either. But yeah, I think in the American League, I don't know, man. I don't know there's a front runner in the American League right now. I mean, I know Tampa Bay looks really good, but you know,
Rangers are frisky.
Yeah, you got Texas that's showing that they're legit. And then, hey, how about the Diamondbacks in the National League? You know, the question is going to be with them is missing Carroll. You know, him going out.
That kills him.
Yeah. But
I'll get a bird's eye view on Sunday. I'm going to the game. The Pirates will be in town, Arizona, so I'll get to see the Diamondbacks.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go, man.
And they've got good pitching. I mean, Arizona's got the pitching to stay in, and I don't know that I would take a ticket on them to win the World Series or get there necessarily right now with Carroll being out, especially. But I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. And the American League, especially, like I said, I know Tampa Bay is probably looking like the team we all think, but there's some other teams. You know, Baltimore's been quietly pretty solid. You know, the Yankees are starting to get in a little bit of a groove again. I know people don't trust them. I know it's the Yankees. I get it, but you just never know, you know. You just never know. And if you're the Yankees, you probably feel like you got some unfinished business as well.
Absolutely. Mike, I'm going to have to send this to your email. Don't ask me why. Will that work?
Okay.
It's not wanting to go through to you
because they know it's going to cash. You know,
that's what it is. Well, now you're really making things difficult because now I'm going to have to resend it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, man. In the meantime, Billy's going to share his screen. We're going to look at the Fantasy Optimizer, and
share right here.
We're going to find because it's Flex Friday. Right. So Flex Friday means your entry is covered up to $20. No risk free up to $20 on Flex Friday. So we've got a $20 play that we're going to put on here, and I'm going to let Billy share his screen, and I'll add it to the stream. And there it is right there. And let's take a look at some plays. Billy, go for it.
All right, Bo, let's go for it. So, obviously, guys, you know, the most optimal thing when we're doing the prize pick plays is we want to have them all in green, right? Because we want to have better than minus 118 odds if we're doing a 6-pick flex. And if we're doing a 5-pick flex, then, you know, you want better than minus 119. Right. So if you boys had any experience with the yellow plays, do you throw them in at all from time to time?
Yes.
Yeah, from time to time. Not a ton of them, but from time to time we will throw one in there, and can't say if we have a consensus of how well it's done, but I know there's been a couple of them that have come through. So I don't mind adding one of them here and there.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, obviously we have 3 that we can get after here with Garcia, Acuna, in this tennis matchup. You know.
Okay, let's What do we have in Garcia?
Over 1.5 bases going up against the Royals tonight. And you just think the Rangers, that team can just smash the ball out of the ballpark, got a lot of hitters. So Royals are not a very good squad. So you got to pick on them.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Acuna as well. He's going to be Acuna's over on his runs, over half a run. And that Braves, if we're pulling on the Braves tonight, Mike likes them. So yeah, I think Acuna is going to circle the bags and at least get 1 run in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe steal a base too to set himself up. I mean, the way he's been playing this year, he's been stealing bases like crazy. Get a single, steal second, next guy drive him in, boom, cashed. We're good.
That's it.
See, we've even got the whole thing figured out. Like, we know exactly how this is going down.
So simple.
Right. Or you could just hit
every
one
time
out.
I heard that one. Yeah.
Right.
And then Bob, for this tennis matchup, I'm not sure if, because it goes off last name. So I don't know if it's going to be Andreeva here or this Potapova, which one you'd have to plug in. But we're looking at under 22.5 games. And these are ones that I enjoy more just because we have a few more books to reference off of as far as their odds so that we can have a little more confidence in this play.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Agree with that.
All right. Hang on 1 second here, because everything is, a lot of these players have the little.
Yeah, so Acuna, maybe you have to Garcia might just be like a GAR, and that'll pop up, or that tilde sometimes can throw you off.
Or you just type in Adolis.
Yep.
And Acuna, I'll just type in Ronald.
Yep.
And now. And that was to score a run, right?
Acuna, correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the Andreeva and Potapova, this is under 22.5 games.
Yep.
Most likely this is going to be a wake up tomorrow morning and see what happened.
Right.
Over across the pond.
Are you seeing the Rodon, I should say, under on strikeouts for the Yankees?
Do right here, but it's in red at the moment. But
really, it's in green here.
Oh, well, then if it's in green, you convince me, Bob. Let me do a quick refresh here.
Yeah. Maybe refresh, see what happened. Maybe it bumped.
Sometimes you got to refresh to be fresh,
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's in green now for me. Yeah, under 6 strikeouts.
Let's roll with that.
And then if you want to put one yellow play, and I'll let you guys pick which one you want. I mean, obviously Wheeler for the Nerfy, we wouldn't want over on the 5 hits allowed, but that's just 1 inning.
Exactly.
Got a lot more books telling us on Gallon here tonight under 6.5. A couple more books. FanDuel put their odds in, which you got to like that.
Yeah, I think the Gallon play I definitely like.
Under on the strikeouts.
Yeah, let's roll with it.
6.5.
Yeah,
6.5. All right. Under on the strikeouts. All right. So now the question.
We're looking at a 0.3% difference from it being yellow to green, guys. So it's
right.
It's a margin, but you can live with that.
Exactly.
So the question is, do we want to put the tennis play in, or do we want to leave the tennis play out?
I'd leave it in. That one was in the green. Let's roll with that one. We'll wait till the morning.
Yeah. Easy for you to say.
I mean, well, here's the thing. We're going to probably have an idea if this, by then, if we have something to look forward to in the morning. When we go to bed, we're going to look and we're going to be like, okay, this thing's dead. Or
nothing better, Bob, than waking up in the morning, having your pancakes and your bacon, and knowing that you got, a little cash in your pocket to start the day off.
Exactly.
You're going to force me into watching tennis tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. Or you don't have to watch.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
He's going to have his coffee mug. He's going to be in his robe, standing 2 feet from the TV, just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
What do you mean robe? Anyway. Mike hates it when I do that. He thinks I go off script too much. Yeah, hold on, I got to see Mike's face here.
Well, no rules on the internet, Bob. On your show, you can do whatever you want.
Did you hear that, Mike?
I heard that, but that doesn't. You still can't just say whatever you want, Bob.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. So we're going to go with Garcia over on total bases, Acuna over on runs, Rodon under or on strikeouts, Gallon under on strikeouts, and Potapova and Andreeva under 22.5 total games. There you go. That's a 5-picker. That's a winner right there, boys. That's a winner.
That's a winner.
That'll pay me $200, and I'll be happy with that for sure. For sure. All right. So we've got a parlay. We've got a Price Picks 5-pick flex, and here comes Adam McLean. Manoah on the bump for the Jays against the Tigers. He's just back from the minors to get his head right. I'm liking the Tigers a lot tonight. Wow, he's looking to fade Manoah whenever he can. I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the Blue Jays tonight. I'm sorry. I hate to disagree with you, Mr. McLean. I know you're a Canada guy there up there in Ontario. That's your team, but I'm on the Blue Jays. You better worry about your Maple Leafs. What the heck are they doing there, man? I mean, Ryan O'Reilly didn't even want, and Luke Shin didn't even want to stay. They weren't even there.
Bob, they have the core four. They got Nylander, Marner, Matthews, Tavares. They're set. They're only taking up like 80% of the salary cap.
I know.
Exactly.
And but speaking of what are they doing? What are your Penguins doing?
We just got Dubas. We got Dubas, So no, the Penguins are on the Blackhawks train. We're soon. We had our cups and we had our time. It's just all nostalgia now.
Yeah. I know. I was surprised that they let some of the people go that they let go. Losing Orlov for Boston, by the way, I think is a pretty big thing. And Tarasenko going to Carolina. Mike, thoughts real quick?
I mean, I like it. You got a guy with experience, goal scorer. I mean, they obviously are looking to continue to build on what they've been doing the last couple of seasons, being in the playoffs. And I had a futures on them last year. Didn't work out. Vegas did, but I like what they're doing. Definitely.
That Pacioretty injury, him coming back and tearing his Achilles, that killed you. No pun intended there, but that was just terrible.
And Svechnikov getting hurt, that was real. I mean, because they got used to being without Pacioretty finally, and when Svechnikov went out, it was like, ooh. But they still got to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I give them a lot of credit, because I was worried they may get bounced even earlier because of that Svechnikov injury. But they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe they can get all the way next year. We'll see.
All right, Billy. Before we leave here, give these people some sound advice on what they need to do. I'm going to tell you what my advice is. Bet, and bet, and bet.
So anyone that's looking into signing up for OddsJam, or if you're currently using OddsJam, guys, right now you have to understand that we are in a bit of the dry season, right, for betting, right? We have baseball, we have some WNBA and, little NBA Summer League and Wimbledon, but you need to get acclimated with the tools. You need to understand how everything works at OddsJam, because when we hit end of August, September, October, it is all systems go, and there's going to be plays galore. So you want to understand how to navigate the arbitrage and the low holds page, the sportsbook screen, right? Because that's where you're going to find even more value now, right? We kind of got to scrape and claw a little bit to find plays, but you need to get ready, because this is basically our preseason for what's going to about to happen in the fall.
There you go. I like that. That's good advice. Good advice. And as Tristan says, then bet more. There you go.
There you go.
And that's what I'm going to go do. And I know Mike is too. Tell me what Nerfies I'm hitting tonight, Mike.
Well, I got the early one, our parlay.
2 minutes.
Phillies Marlins. And then I rolled with Mariners Astros. And then I rolled with the Brewers and the Reds. So
okay. So I'm going to put $1,000 on that Phillies Marlins Nerfie.
Sure. Good luck to you, Bob. If you want to learn how to lose all your money, that's how you do it, folks.
One blow, I'll go.
Exactly.
Have a good weekend.